What's good, everybody? Hope you're having a great day. Today's video, I'm going to be going over a modern Tiger game that I think you guys hopefully will get something out of. I'm a Hippo player through and through. Right? 1 and 2, and I was about to say 3 because I've said this like over 100 times. But in this case, D6 is a bad move. It's almost never a bad move, but I would say it is here practically. Because if D6, we see H5, and this is just not fun for me. Okay, I don't like this. So, look, with H4, you got different moves. Recent video, I covered how D5 is the engine move there, and I covered some theory with H6 for those of you that want to try to stick with the Hippo. And there's different things White can try, including pushing and maybe even going for F4. That's what I covered in that section. But Bishop E3 is what was played here, and against this particular setup, I think I used to develop my king side and then I start attacking, but I think there's value in taking quick space on the queen side, and I'm only speaking to when you see this type of setup, White trying to castle queen side. That's it. Now it is sound to start off the game with these kind of moves and then play D6, A6, B5 against a bunch of different things, including a classical setup. You could even play A6 on move 3. I personally don't love that a ton. I really like relying on the Tiger type formation when White is trying to maul me. And, okay, I played move B5, excuse me, castling queenside, Bishop B7. Okay, this is something you can do. This is something you could do, and you could prep this out. With F3, I ended up playing Knight D7. The idea is to support the C5 push, and I've been having a lot of fun with this. It's an easy formation to get into in terms of getting into the Tiger, but it becomes extremely tactical. If you want a draw, don't play the Tiger, please. White takes. I end up following my Hippo rule of, okay, look towards the sides. Is there a pawn? Yeah? Okay, take with the pawn. Is that always true? No. That's not always the best move, but it usually is. And here, these pawns side by side wipe out half of the 4th rank. And White ends up sacking. I was a little bit concerned about this, but I was thinking, you know what? I think I'm okay. This is where those tactics come in. We take, White captures back. We only have one move that's winning. And the majority of things we have available here are just dead loss for Black. There's a lot of pressure here. White's castled, our king's still stuck in the center, the knight's pinned. What do we do? Well, Bishop C8, it's too passive. It's too passive. I'm sorry. Okay, too passive. I play Knight F6. That's the best thing we could do, because now castling kingside is kind of a threat. It's a threat because we're up material. We're up a piece for 2 pawns. And if White can't get this absolute pin, if they can't keep that, we're just up material with a great game. Not to mention our bishop's a monster here. E5 is played, and here there's different options. I could have took the pawn. I believe I was looking at this. This actually would have been a brilliant. I noticed if White takes, it's game over, right? But if King B1, what do we have now? Queen A8. This felt a little bit crazy to me. Like White could take on D7. If I take with the knight, then this game it's wraps. Okay, and okay, what can we do here? Okay, well, we can't take the bishop. We can run, and we have a great attack. Beautiful attack. Threatening mate. If White, let's say they play C3, the engine move is Knight E4. Going, you know what? Take my knight. The bishop flies in. Beautiful stuff. Of course, White shouldn't do that, but yeah. Bishop takes E5, King G7. This is still bad for White to take that knight, but a crazy game. I ended up playing Knight D5, which is also winning. Not the engine move of taking on A2, but this is also winning. It felt a little bit more secure to me. I'm still looking at this pawn on A2. I'm still up material here. If White wants to play quietly, okay, I can castle. That's an option. Bishop takes C5 is played. I now fly my rook in. I play Queen A8. And if the bishop took, I could take back with the king. I mean, my knight's fine. I was looking at Bishop A3, right, in these types of positions, but I could sack, and this just felt too dangerous for White, right? If C4, we got different options, including Queen B3. In the game, White played Bishop A3 right away. before taking the knight. So in that case, fine. I took on a3. I took on a3 again. And if white did take, here we go. King takes d7 again. Here we could throw in a check. We could take on e5. I mean, if white wants to take, the rook flies in. This game's not going to last long. And if queen c2, then queen a3. Beautiful move. Queen b2, game over. King b1, game over. And finally, king d2. Wow. Somehow I'm forgetting what this is called, this kind of mate. I don't know. To be honest with you guys, I've never been a player that like studies all the names of checkmates. And it was kind of interesting because Hikaru did a video where he reacted to checkmate names and he didn't know them. Unless he was trolling us, but which he may have been. But anyways, queen takes a3. Knight e2 is played. I took. Threatening mate, c4. I checked. And then here I checked. I honestly, guys, I liked queen b3. Okay, I liked queen b3. I played queen a3. And there's a few things white can do. I was looking at king e4. I saw... one, notice that's a double check. Everything's covered except f5. And then mate. That's what I saw. That said, this is a lot prettier. That's also a mate in 2. If queen d5 or bishop c6, in either case, game over. Isn't that disgusting? My goodness. But okay, I mean, white could also play knight c3, in which case there's plenty of ways of taking that knight. Any way I take it, black's winning. But white ended up running back. I took a little time here. I was just trying to make sure it wasn't a perpetual, but I was like, you know what? I do want to force that king back there so that I can get b3. So I went 1, 2. White blocked. I ended up just going for the easy endgame. We have capturing. I saved my bishop. I'm up 4 points of material, guys, at this point. I don't need to try to checkmate the king. I don't need to try to... I mean, if I have a checkmate, that's cool, but I'm not going to sack material for an attack when I'm already up material. I've already won the game in a sense. I just have to keep my material advantage and not blunder it away. Rook d8, the rook comes up. Knight a4. I didn't want to give up 2 minor pieces for the rook. We have rook b1, knight c5. The rook flies in. Bishop activates. Bishop activates. Rook over. And there's different things white can do. Funny enough, I did get a checkmate here pretty quickly. But again, my biggest thing is, you know, again, if there's a checkmate, take it. If you can give up material, sack a queen, sack a rook, sack everything and get checkmate, do it. But I see it way too often, guys. Way too often where a player will be up material, up a pawn, up a rook, up a whatever, up a something. And then they sack. And then their attack doesn't work. If you're up material, you don't need to sack. You're up material, trade down, win the endgame. Okay, win the endgame. Rook d1 was played, and now I do have a mate in 2. 1 and 2. That's a wrap. Hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you're interested in pre-ordering my Advanced Hippopotamus Defense course, which already has content uploaded and will continue to have content uploaded up until the full release date of May 31st, plug in the discount code of Early Hippo in the description below. You'll have the link there or in the pinned comment. You get the drill. See you guys in the next video. Peace. I wanted to finish this video out by giving a special thanks to Walter, Rob, Roger, Ray, and Jerry, and the rest of my Patreon community. Thank you guys for making this video possible. If you're interested in joining the Patreon family, hey, I'd love to see you over there. There's some exclusive benefits that you gain by becoming a member. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you over there. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace.